Toastmaster Ahmad, can you hear me? Maybe we've lost him.
Cairo Toastmaster Ashraf is there instead of Ahmad. Ashraf, could you introduce your role as Zoom Master?
Yes.
Over to
Hi.
you, Toastmaster Ashraf.
Yes,
Maybe
thank
we've
you.
lost him.
Yes, I am the backup Zoom master of the day. So my role is
Cairo
to.
Toastmaster Ashraf is there instead of Ahmad. Ashraf, could you introduce your role as Zoom Master?
Yes, sure. So the Zoom master. Guys, can you hear? Yes, I am the backup Zoom master of the day. So my role is.
Cairo Toastmaster Ashraf is there.
Okay, sorry. The echo from the YouTube live is having me a bit weird. Anyway, so the Zoom master's role is to coordinate all of the muting and unmuting of people of the attendance for today's meeting, and I'm also assured that I am responsible that everyone is the meeting runs on time and runs according to schedule. So thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashraf, for your introduction. Now, I would like to ask our general evaluator, fellow Toastmaster Niladri Parial, to give a brief introduction of his role in today's meeting. Over to you, general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Bismriti. As the general evaluator for today, my responsibility would be to look into the various aspects of the meeting, to evaluate the roles and how the overall meeting went. And I would be back with a team of direct speech evaluators. There are two of them today, as called upon by the Toastmaster of the day, after which I will also present my general evaluation of the entire meeting. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster and general evaluator, Toastmaster Niladri. Now it's time for us to introduce our featured speakers and their evaluators. So this is the segment in a Toastmasters meeting wherein speakers present their prepared speeches and evaluators present their prepared speeches. I would like to request our first evaluator, Toastmaster Alia, fellow Toastmaster Alia, to give a brief details about project details of our first speaker, Toastmaster Sailesh Karki. Over to you, Toastmaster Alia.
Thank you, our awesome TMOD, and good evening, everyone. Special good evening to our first prepared speaker, Toastmaster Sailesh Karki. I hope I pronounced that well. Toastmaster Shailesh's first speech is going to be under evaluation and feedback. He's going to be doing it under the project 2, level 1, pathway of persuasive influence. His speech title is Human Microbiome. Very interesting speech title. Looking forward to that. And back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alia, for the introduction of brief introduction of Toastmaster Sailesh's project. Now, fellow passengers, cabin crew, co-pilot, and dear guests, we are all set. I hope you've all buckled up your seat belts. The seats are sanitized. We are taking all precautionary measures, and we are ready to take off. And while this virtual flight is going on, this is going to be an in-flight commentary from me, from our amazing lineup of role takers, as well as our amazing speakers and evaluators. I hope you all will enjoy this in-flight commentary and have an amazing flight. Thank you once again for choosing to fly with us. Over to you, Toastmaster Sailesh. All the best.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bismriti. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. This is an apple. It is covered in millions of microbes. The microbes that it is covered in is commensurate with the environment where it was grown, how it was transported, and subsequently arrived at my place. When I eat this apple, it gets transported down to my gut, where the microbes that it contains get added to the repository of microbes that are already present in my gut. The air around us, it is laced with bacteria and virus, some good, others bad. When we breathe in this air, we imbibe ourselves with these tiny organisms. It wouldn't be wrong to say that these organisms are quintessential to our very survival. When a baby is born, his body gets covered in microbes from his or her mother's genitalia that subsequently gets deposited in his gut. The technology today is sufficiently advanced to analyze this gut bacteria and know how the baby was born, normally or using C-section. The same technology can also be used to determine if you live in a farm or in a townhouse, if you own a pet or not. Furthermore, this technology can also help determine if you are susceptible to any chronic illness in future. So, what exactly is human microbiome? The microbiome is the genetic material of all microbes, bacteria, virus, protozoa, everything that live on and inside your body. We humans are mostly microbes. There are trillions upon trillions of microbes living inside each one of us. The majority live in our gut, particularly large intestine. Microbes outnumber human cells 10 to 1. The bacteria in the microbiome help digest our food. They contribute towards our immune system. They protect us from other disease-causing bacteria, and they are also involved in some vital body functions like producing vitamins and hormones. So, what do the microbiome have to do with health? Our gut consists of delicate balance of good and bad bacteria. Several chronic illness like diabetes, heart ailments, autoimmune conditions, and even neurological disorders are as a result of this balance in gut microbiome. Since our immunity mostly resides in our gut, it goes without saying that a healthy microbiome contributes to a good health. There has been increased interest in study of immune system these past few months, particularly due to this COVID pandemic. It has been established that people who have weakened immune system are susceptible to adverse effect of COVID, and people who have strong immune system, they barely have any symptoms or very few symptoms at all. So furthermore, patients who have disease like diabetes and heart conditions are especially more susceptible to adverse effect of COVID. And you know what they all have in common? They have a dysbiosis of their gut, that is disbalance of their gut bacteria. So it has been established that gut is also intricately linked to our brain through gut-brain barrier. However, have you ever felt butterflies in your stomach when you're anxious or when you are nervous, like I am right now? Eat clean food that nurtures your gut microbiome, and it instantly uplifts your mood. Having a healthy microbiome has a spillover effect on the health of your entire body. Your gut is like the root of a plant. You nurture a plant from its root, and it grows on to become a healthy tree that provides sweet fruit throughout its life. So, how do we improve your microbiome? Junk food, sugar, alcohol, ultra-processed food, carbonated drinks, and food that are laced with antibiotics and antibiotics themselves. These are the things that nourish bad bacteria in your body. And leafy green vegetables, fruits, non-refined oil, healthy fats, probiotics, these are the things that contribute to a healthy microbiome. You must try to create an environment where bad guys just can't proliferate. Finally, we are obsessed with cleanliness. We live in a very clean and sanitized environment. We were meant to live in harmony with all the organisms all around us. Ultra cleanliness can make us hypersensitive and make us susceptible to several ailments, allergies, and chronic disease. We need to stop being so clean and sanitary and become whole with the environment around us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Stylish, for your wonderful speech. Now, coming back to the theme, who stole my joy? If we look at it, there's some words said by Theodore Roosevelt that comparison is the thief of joy that keeps coming back to my mind, especially right now. And especially at a time like this, and especially maybe it's relevant to me and maybe it's relevant to the many of you here present here as well, that despite living in a world of abundance, it's so hard to break out of this mindset of scarcity. There's always going to be someone who has more than us. There's always some place that we could be, some place better that we could be in right now. But if we imagine that 500 years ago, did even the noblemen or the royalty have all the privileges that is available to all commoners like us, like the internet? Like having the control of the world from payment systems to entertainment to food and whatnot at our fingertips. Being able to travel from one part of the world to another without much restrictions, although with the exception of the pandemic that we are experiencing right now and whatnot. Were these privileges even imaginable to our ancestors 100, 200, or 100 or 200 or even 100 years ago? No. But does that make our generation, the people of today, happier than our ancestors? Sadly, no. Because it is so relevant, it is so hard to break out of this mindset of scarcity that we fail to realize the boons and privileges that we can easily avail right now. Comparison truly is the thief of joy. Moving on, I would like to ask our second evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Rewat Shakya, to give project details of our second speaker, Toastmaster Abdul Rahman Kazamel. Over to you, Toastmaster Rewat.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bismiti. It is my pleasure to introduce Toastmaster Abdul Rahman Kazamel, and he will be delivering his Level 1 Project 2 under the Persuasive Influence Pathways. He'll be delivering his speech titled Signal from the Noise, and he will have 5 to 7 minutes. All the best to Toastmaster Abdul Rahman.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rewat. Toastmaster Abdul Rahman, you are the hero. You are the pilot of this flight now. So far, fellow passengers and dear guests, we have not experienced any serious turbulence. Over to you, Toastmaster Abdul Rahman. All the very best.
I'm sorry. In our daily life, you and I sometimes feel sick. Our applications also feel sick, but it all depends on our decisions. I'm Abdurrahman Kazamil, a pre-sales engineer providing enterprise solutions for companies to reduce their MTTR, main time to reduction, main time to repair, main time to resolution. So, when you're infected by cold, I would like first to ask our Zoom master to help me to put this on. So now will appear on your screen a poll. So the situation says, when you're infected by cold, you feel sore, cough, a headache. But because it depends on our decisions, what do you take? Do you take a sore medication, cough medication, headache medication, or you take a cold medication? Our Zoom, if it doesn't appear right now on your screens, I would like you to contribute in the chat box. What do you take? Oh, cold medication. Enthusiasm. Cold medication. Cool. I'm recognized to see the majority right now goes to cold medication because it is the root cause of the problem for other issues. Do you know something? When I asked my mom this question, she told me, I better leave the home and ask for a divorce from your dad. So how companies could follow the end user journey performance among all this complexity of technology nowadays? Code written by developers, the database calls, the network reflection, and so on. There's a lot of components to help the end user and give him peaceful journey through the application environment. So how could they put an eye on every new landscape? Yes, how? So in Cairo, even in Nepal, the whole world, we all now depend on the online experience. We do online shopping, ticket reservation, finish the loan papers online. And I would also to ask you to contribute in the chat box below with brands you deal with or even applications you usually use in your phone. So as we see, the majority right now in Instagram, right? A lot of applications, a lot of online experience. As we now depend on the application experience, the online experience as the one you and I having right now through the Dome application. So now let's analyze what happened from 3 points of view. First, from the end user point of view, I go to online platform to buy a product. And if any step of these steps responding very slowly, we got the angry version of you. What happens here? First, if you are a kind end user, you will find the research button to reload the page. If it's still not responding, you will find the close page. The X button to exit the page. Now, what happened here? First, I will go to a similar provider to buy my product, right? Also, I will not give a feedback with the error I got. Third, I will share my word of mouth with the bad experience I got with this platform. Now, let's move to the other point of view, the enterprises, the applications. What happened? There is a war room happening, a blaming game among different teams to know where the problem is coming from. Each team is pointing fingers to each other. Where is the problem is coming from? The developers say, my code is flawless. I don't have bugs. Sure, it's the database team. Database said, no, my code is fine. The network is the network guy. Network? Oh, all my servers working well. On the other hand, the business team doesn't know why the revenue curve is going down. What if they have application performance monitoring like App Dynamics from Cisco? Now we move to the third point of view. In the background of application monitoring performance, we follow each transaction. So there is main points or main steps the end user made. He logged into the application, searched for the product, search for the product, grab his product, add it to the cart, finally check out. So in app dynamics, if any step of these steps not responding well, we get the code, the piece of code, the database calls, the network reflection, end-to-end visibility into your application platform. In app dynamics, when there is a problem or there is an error and you found the root cause, you can just get the link, copy the link, then send it to another team. It's about collaboration, supporting, trusting in each other. This mindset of collaboration and supporting, sharing the knowledge will allow you to walk into the war room feeling confidence because you got the ability to see everything happening in one place. As we say, unified monitoring, one dashboard. In conclusion, I would like to say, if you got 10 decisions, 20 decisions in your life, you know what? Pick the top ones, the most problematic ones, and solve them. People would say, are you crazy? It's gonna take more time. So, if you are small, you're gonna solve small problems. However, if you are big, you're gonna solve big problems. Therefore, what happens? If you solve these problems, the most problematic one, you can carry on from this complexity and apply in the other decisions in your life or your application performance. And maybe you can grab one and take it as a proof of concept. And when you start to make this, you will start to see a signal from the noise. Back to you, Bromiste.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abdul Rahman. Now, I would like to ask our Zoom master, Toastmaster Yusuf Ashraf, to give us some audio stimulations to give us the total feel of a virtual flight, only when all our senses, visual, auditory, and smell, even smell, is shared, that we can have that experience. I would also like the Zoom master to launch the polls for the better featured speaker. Now, let me tell you, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, thank you, Toastmaster Yusuf Ashraf. Could you kindly give us the visual and auditory stimulation? I cannot seem to hear the audio. Anyways, so let me tell you, fellow passengers, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests, once the Zoom master, Toastmaster Yusuf Ashraf, launches the poll, you can vote for your pick for the better featured speaker. Could we have the poll for the better featured speaker, fellow Zoom master? Let's vote for your pick for the better speaker. Is it Toastmaster Speaker 1, Toastmaster Sailesh Karki, or is it Speaker 2, Toastmaster Abdul Rahman Kazamel? You only have a minute to cast your votes, so please do it. I guess most of us have voted now. Now, I would like to request our Zoom master to give us the sounds, aircraft sounds, so that all of the passengers and all aboard the Cairo Professionals Airlines can feel at home and can actually sense this virtual flight taking off. Fellow passengers and dear guests, let me tell you that we are now at an altitude of 8,500 meters from the sea level. So far, we have not experienced major turbulence, but I would still like you all to keep your phones in airplane mode and buckle up your seatbelts so that even if we experience any turbulence, it won't be much of a hassle. But we assure you that we are going to make this flight as convenient and your ride as smooth as possible. Continuing with the theme of today's meeting, global collaboration and who stole my joy? Why is it that human beings are not content with what they have right now? And I'm not saying it's a bad thing if our ancestors were content with having to walk miles and miles barefoot and on foot from one destination to another. We would not have the most amazing transportation technology that we have today if our ancestors did not were satisfied and did not have the curiosity to look for better options to connect people globally. We would not have the amazing communication and information and communication technology that we have today, and we would also not have this amazing virtual platform Zoom that has allowed us fellow attendees, fellow passengers from different parts of the world to connect here, to stay connected and to share their views, ideas, and to embark on this virtual flight. So, dissatisfaction isn't really bad, but when we really start lose sight of our privileges, that's when the real problem kicks in. That's when, despite all the privileges, despite everything at our disposal to make our lives easier and more convenient than ever before, we do not find joy, we do not find contentment, we do not find happiness. And as we all know, our lives are limited. And in that limited period of time, we have to say goodbyes from this physical world without even experiencing a sense or a resemblance of joy or happiness. Now, I would like to move on to the next segment of the session, that is the table topic segment. I would like to ask our table topic master, fellow co-pilot, Toastmaster Rania Lela, to give an intro to take over this table topic session. Over to you, Toastmaster Rania.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. I really like you, so I want to eat you tonight. Fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, this is the bloody table topic master. Tonight is so special for me. I will choose some victims to enjoy eating, torching, and burning to death. Unless they will tell me enjoyable, bloody stories and do exactly what I wish. Are you for it? This bloody game is called Kill or Get Killed. And now, let me pick the first victim. I will be rejoiced if I find proper dinner tonight. Let's start that challenge.
Rania, just a quick heads up. We can't hear you very well because your sound is muffled. So yeah, please.
Yes, I can't breathe, Ashraf, and really I'm gonna eat you tonight, okay? Munir, Jovita? Munir?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Hi. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Just fine. It's my day. What's your last wish? Just in case I didn't like your story.
I can't hear you. Can you please write on the chat so I come to know what's the topic?
What's your last wish? Your last wish.
My
Last wish.
last wish.
Yes.
Okay.
No, just wait. Okay, please, Munir. Tell me a story about this picture, and it starts with once upon a time.
Shall I speak?
Can you see the screen?
Yes, I can see the screen.
Yes, please start.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. My last wish. My last wish is to become the Prime Minister of this country. That's my dream, which I want to fulfill. I want that I should rule this country. And I want to bring the change in this country.
our country, there's a lot of corruption in India. My last wish is if I become a prime minister, I want to eradicate corruption from this country. This country is going to the dogs. If I get an opportunity, definitely I will make the law stringent. Whoever will dare to take the bribe, that person must be hanged till death. Nobody will have fear in their mind to take the bribe. So for that I have to work hard. And that daydream I had every time till my childhood, I want that my last wish should be fulfilled. For that, I need God's willing. If God helps me, I will bring the change. That's only possible if my last wish is fulfilled. Many times I'm sitting alone, I make a castle in the air that I have become a prime minister. I'm bringing the change. Change in the education, change in the police, change in the health department. But I want God should help me to fulfill my last. Thank you. Over to the Toastmaster, please.
Thank you so much, Munish. And I will make a decision about you maybe at the end of the meeting. Thank you so much. Now, the second victim.
Toastmaster Rania, I'm
Yes.
really sorry for the interruption, but would you mind letting the guests know that they can participate in this segment, since some of the guests could maybe have not attended a Toastmasters meeting before? It would be nice to let them know.
Okay, in this part, we practice the impromptu speech. So I pick up some names from the guests from the Nepal side and from the Cairo side. Is there any problem about this? It's okay?
So either the guests can volunteer, or Table Topics Master, Toastmaster Rania, will randomly pick out a name from the chat box and give you a topic.
I just did that, and I have some victims here. The next one will be Nirmal Babu. Is that right? Nirmal?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now let's see. And she won. I asked you to tell me a story, bloody, horrified story, and you can mention this one. And she won. Please do. Nirmal, are you there?
Toastmaster Rania, we cannot hear you properly.
Is that clear? Now it's clear?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. Nirmal, Babu, please. Tell me a story, and you can mention this line. And she won.
I think we have a Toastmaster Rania.
Yeah.
I can see that a guest, Manaswi, is raising her hand. Maybe she wants to volunteer. A guest from Nepal. If Toastmaster Nirmal isn't willing to take up the role, I can see guest Manashwi raising a hand. So should we give priority to one who volunteers? What do you say, Table Topic Master?
Okay, just first, Nirmal is there or just he disappeared? Nirmal? Okay, I will go with the one who raised his hand.
Guest Manaswi. Guest Manaswi has raised her hand.
Okay.
So maybe she'd like to be the one to take up the next table topics. Guest Manaswi, please unmute yourself, or if the Zoom master could unmute her. Guest Manashwi.
Are you there?
Toastmaster Bismiti, let's give her to take it up, please.
Okay.
want. Okay?
Once upon a time, a girl was sleeping and she started dreaming. She reached to a war where a person was trying to attack her. She tried her best. She fought with many people. The first person to fight with her was a boy who ran and came to her and he attacked her. She jumped aside and she was safe. Then another man came. He brought a glass and he hit her in her head. But nothing happened to her because she was in her dreams. Then the other time, a girl came and attacked her. But still, nothing happened to her. Then she just had a spear side of her. She had no options. She took the spear. She started hitting everyone with it. The king who was in the war told her, "How did you reach here and why are you war between our enemies?" She told that, "I don't know how I reached here." Then, a lot of time, the king started discussing with the people of his country. They started talking a lot and took them around 2 hours to make their decision for the girl. They talked, whispering each other's ear, and after a long time, they decided to praise her for her bravery to come between a war and just be in the middle. So they just told you won, though she won, and she won, but in her dreams. Over to table topic master.
Oh my God. Oh my God, that was so sweet. I'm not gonna eat it tonight. I like your speech so much. And now, let's move on. Mustafa Khalid. Mustafa Khalid.
Yes, I'm right here.
Okay. Now, please, the bloody everywhere. I need a story from you that you explain that the blood everywhere.
Okay.
Great.
This is a story when you try something new. Every time you want to do something that's out of your comfort zone, you step out of the box. Right the second that you step out of the box, something keeps telling you that you should have stayed there. It's an inner voice. Sometimes they call it the critic. Sometimes they call it the destructive self. But the name doesn't really matter here, because what matters is the effect that it causes on you. So in this point, you have two choices. People will try to make it a lot more complicated, but you have two choices. You either step out, do the thing that you are supposed to do, or you hold back and you stay in your comfort zone. So this is a thing that I have been studying obsessively, especially a book that was about human relationships. And it said that every time you try to make something out of your comfort zone, let's say in this case, you try to express yourself more or be more authentic, there will be blood everywhere. No matter how experienced you are, no matter how many times you have did it, there will always be blood. But we human beings, we sometimes exaggerate. We sometimes think that it is real blood, but as we can see in front of the screen, it's just this clown from It movie that tries to make people imagine that there will be blood. But in reality, it's just all in the imagination. Nothing bad happens. You don't get blood everywhere. It was just a metaphor. Okay, calm down. And we all get out of it. We learn from it. And we become a better version of ourselves. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much for this inspiring, awesome speech. Thank you. And now let's move on. Okay, Dehran, is that right? Dehran, Tim, something like that. Just please correct me if I'm wrong. Dehran. If he's not there, so I will choose from the people who raised their hand. Okay. No
She's saying somebody from Dharan.
Yes. From Dehran. Sorry. Okay. Priyanka, are you there? Priyanka?
Hello, is it
Hi.
audible?
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. What about you?
Just great. It's my night tonight. Okay, now please look at the next picture and tell me a story about it and use this sentence. I couldn't hide from him.
I can correlate this with my real-time story. I couldn't hide from him. This is when I was in school and it happened for you like first time. And I couldn't reveal him that I liked many things about him. But while I was there, I couldn't see him the real way, the way he talked, the way he used to speak, the way I used to notice him. And later on, while it was time for the last day, then everything was flashed back into, and I couldn't see the story. And later on, while we met after 10 years in new places, which was not meant to happen, then I couldn't hide from him that he was my first crush in school. And the things came back and he knew about it. That was the way he shocked me through the thing. And it was like he also had the same feeling, but we couldn't reveal it to each other. And it was a good thing to remember back again and get in touch with each other and enjoy the thing that we couldn't hide from each other. I would not say that I couldn't hide from him as well. He couldn't hide from me as well. So that was the story, which is, I don't want to speak the entire thing, but yeah, that it happens and it was meant to happen. And still we are in touch and we share this moment as it was intuition, and there is some destination kind of thing which happens and which we feel. So thank you for giving such a topic, bombarding on me as an impromptu space. And yes, thank you so much, Rania. Sorry.
Rania, yes, thank you so much, Priyanka, for this amazing speech and inspiring one. And unfortunately, I will come to the end because of the time. The time is up for our segment. And I would express or explain that I'm really fortunate. Unfortunately, I want to have my dinner today. And to my friend here, I know that she's more beautiful than me, but it's okay. I wish you all have a great time with us. And now back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you to Table Topic Master Toastmaster Rania, and thank you to all the fellow Toastmasters and speakers who took up the role and gave us brilliant versions of the impromptu speeches. Now, originally in the agenda sheet, we had allotted a 5-minute break, but since it's quite late here in Nepal and we I think we should skip the break session. And without further ado, I would like to hand over the platform to our general evaluator, Toastmaster Niladri. Over to you, Toastmaster Niladri.
Hi, once again, good evening. I'm back with the general evaluation section. And we say that feedback is the breakfast of champions. When we say that, we mean that the evaluation section is one of the most important segments of any Toastmasters meeting. And this joint meeting between professionals and Cairo.
So sorry for interrupting you, but since our table topic segment is complete, I would like to, I'm really sorry, I would like
No
to
worries,
ask
go ahead.
a Zoom master to launch the poll so that we can vote for our pick for the better table topic speakers. Toastmaster Yusuf Ashraf, I would like you to launch the ballot for better pick for table topic speakers.
Okay, so I tried to do the whole poll thing, but the limit is 2 people per question. So we're going to do something a bit different, and we're going to share my screen right now. I opened a very sophisticated word pad. So the first person is Munish Gupta. The second person is Mansui Nakana. Yes. The third person is Mustafa Khalid. And finally, we had Priyanka Goengar.
Fellow Toastmasters, you can privately message your pick to our Zoom master. You can privately message to Zoom master Yusuf Ashraf your pick for better evaluators.
Yes, we have 40 seconds for you to do so.
Hurry up, your votes are really, really important.
Where are the votes, people? Where? There it is.
So far, we have not experienced much turbulence, and luckily, the climate's been in our favor. It's been raining incessantly in this region. We're at an altitude of 7,400 meters, but we were so lucky that the climate is really in our favor. And despite some slight turbulences, which might have led to some audio breaks during our table topics and in a few other sessions, we are really lucky. We really hope to give you a smooth ride as much as possible. And for those of you, if you haven't already cast your votes, we request you to privately message your pick for better table topic speaker to our Zoom master, Toastmaster Yusuf Ashraf. Now, thank you very much, Zoom master. Now, I would like to hand over the platform to our general evaluator, Toastmaster Niladri.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bismriti. As I was saying, feedback is the breakfast of champions, and we believe that in any Toastmasters community around the world. Today, I would be leading the general evaluation session, and this section first evaluates the featured speakers of the day. We had 2 featured speakers. Toastmaster Sailesh was our first speaker, and Toastmaster Abdul Rahman was our second speaker. I would like to first call upon our first evaluator, a vivacious lady who is from the land of pyramids and pharaohs, and who believes in the power of love and positivity. She is none other than Toastmaster Alia, who is going to evaluate Toastmaster Sailesh. Timer, please note that both the evaluators are going to have 2 to 3 minutes to complete their evaluation. Over to you, Toastmaster Alia.
Namaste and ahlan wa sahlan to you all. A special namaste to our first speaker, Toastmaster Shailesh. Well done. Allow me to express my rejoice for completing your first speech of the evaluation and feedback project. That was a well done job. And remember, we're all here to learn and no one is perfect. Let's go straight into this. You successfully met your objective, which is to give a speech on any topic, and you chose an informative one about human microbiomes. Very interesting. Your English language usage was great. We could understand you very well. It was very clearly used and understood. You were aware that there is audience in front of you, and you were pretty much aware that microbiomes can be something of interest to us all, since we all have bodies and care about our health in a way. So that was a good selection of the topic. However, as we said, no one is perfect. There are a few suggestions or points that we could use to improve our speech a little bit for next time. Starting off with the introduction, I very much remember you started off by saying, "Thank you, good evening, this is an apple." So I was like, so perhaps you could start instead without the thank you and without the good evening. As soon as you take it over from the Toastmaster of the day, you start off with the apple and go like, "This is an apple," with a lovely smile, because I'm sure the audience knows that it's an apple. Yeah, and then you move on to jumping into your speech. Your movement was a bit uncontrolled, like we were going left and right as if we were actually on a plane and there was some turbulence. So perhaps if you could control your movement a bit more for next time. I understand that you were a bit stressed and it's very normal to do that. So next time, perhaps breathe, and this could help control your movement more. And your eye contact was a little bit there, like towards, I feel you were reading off another screen, so we didn't get the direct eye contact here. It's like, Toastmaster Shailesh, we're here. So next time, try to look at the audience more and direct your eye contact towards them. If that makes you stressed, no problem. With online meetings, you can look at the camera. That's even better because we can clearly see the direct eye contact between you and us in this case. I would have loved to see more of your gestures as well, your hands more, your face expressions to be more relaxed. But this comes by time. We cannot have everything in one thing. Your vocal variety was pretty good, but I felt many times that your pace was too fast, like you were running. And so suddenly, when you decided to engage your audience with the question of, what was the question? And you know what they have in common? We lost you in that second because you were like really, really, really fast. And you know what you had in common? I was like, oh, is this a question? Are we supposed to answer? So perhaps slow down your pace a little bit, and especially towards the conclusion. When concluding your speech, slow down, take a deep breath, make us all feel that we have reached the end of your speech, and give a direct call to action in a very calm manner so we know that it is the end without saying thank you. Overall, it's a great job. There's still room for improvement, yes, but no one here is perfect. Always remember that an articulate speech is not one that comes from lip to ear, but one that comes from heart to heart. And I'm sure your heart will be filled with amazing things for your upcoming speeches. Best of luck, and back to you, our GE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ali, for that evaluation. We rejoice in the next evaluator coming up, and he is none other than Toastmaster Rewat. Toastmaster Rewat is an avid reader. He is a passionate learner and a student of business administration, and he's going to evaluate our second speaker, Toastmaster Abdul Rahman. Over to you, Toastmaster Rewat.
Thank you, General Evaluator. I would like to give a big kudos to Toastmaster Abdul Rahman, especially since this is only his second project of level 1. He came across as a very seasoned speaker. He started off being very comfortable with the space he was in. He used a lot of different gestures. He even utilize his space by going back and forth and not just standing rooted in one place, trying to give a little variety there for us. He used a lot of different hand gestures, and he had good measured pace. So it wasn't all over the place. You know, you could actually follow what he was saying. He was very even paced. It was not too slow and not too fast. I thought it was quite a pleasure to listen to him. He also had a lot of jargon in there, actually. And for someone who is not familiar with all these technology terms, I think he did a good job of explaining it to us what he was talking about and what his speech was all about. But there's always room for improvement. And here's a few suggestions for you. I think you were lacking a little bit in vocal variety. I think you could have emphasized certain points, maybe try to bring in a little bit more, especially when you mentioned things like the two teams were not, in agreement. Maybe you could emphasize a little bit by having a little bit of a different tone when mentioning that. You also mentioned fairly technical things that perhaps for a layman that would be difficult to follow. Maybe there are certain things like you're talking about app dynamics in Cisco, which for me maybe I'm not very familiar with that topic, so I didn't really understand what you're saying there, but I got the general message. And also, you kind of went over time while you're doing your conclusion. I think you went slightly over time there. So maybe you should practice your speech ahead. Maybe do 2 or 3 dry practice runs. Maybe have a friend with you, and then time yourself on that, and you'll definitely improve your speeches. So I believe that's all of my notes, and I would like to thank you again for giving an amazing speech, and I had a pleasure evaluating you. Over to you.
Thank you, evaluator number 2, Toastmaster Raybut. That brings us to the end of the evaluation section of the direct speeches. And can I request the Zoom master to kindly launch the poll for the better evaluator? Toastmaster Ashraf. Thank you. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Kindly vote for your better evaluator or best evaluator, as the Toastmasters in Cairo call. We are used to the better vocabulary. And I believe that there are clubs around the world that use the word best. We'll give you 5 more seconds if you're not voted yet. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Toastmaster Ashraf, thank you so much. You can close the polling. And now we would like to jump on to the indirect evaluation section, and to help us know what grammar and what language usage was used throughout the entire meeting today, we have Toastmaster Kriti, who was the grammarian for the entire meeting, and she's going to present ourselves with her grammarian support. Toastmaster Kriti, over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. I will try my best to share my observations. I did have a bit of turbulence on my end with the internet connection, so bear with me if the report isn't as detailed as you would like. For starters, I cannot rejoice with the word of the day usage because it was only used once and twice now after I used it right now. There were some great usage of words throughout the meeting, and there were good words like synergy, imbibe, proliferate, jargon, and then there were some great phrases like adverse effect, word of mouth, comfort zone, controlled movement. But in Toastmasters, we always like to point out areas of improvement as well. So there were a few words that were mispronounced, like organisms and depend and application. And there were a few singular and plural disagreements, like are was used instead of is in certain instances, and there was a confusion with in and on in a few phrases. But overall, some great words, great usage, and there were even a few quotes that were used today. One was comparison is a thief of joy, which is part of our theme and used by our TMOE. And the other one is feedback is the breakfast of champion, which was used by our general evaluator. Overall, great words, great usage, and that is all I have from what I could hear from my end. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you for your report, Toastmaster Kriti. Now we have another fabulous Toastmaster who is full of energy and I wouldn't say turbulence, but happy turbulence for us, I guess. The president of Cairo Toastmasters Club and also the heart master for today evening, Toastmaster Dina. Over to you.
Thank you so very much. Nobody has ever called me any kind of turbulence before, but I believe it's in a good context. So I appreciate the positive vibe. Thank you. All right. So now we're going to do the Heartmaster section, which, like I told you, is a series of questions to make sure that you guys have been listening effectively. All right. So I'm not going to wait till people raise their hands because we only have 2 minutes. So if you know the answer, just go ahead and shout it out. All right. Okay. The first question is, what was the problem with the apple that our first speaker was holding? What was the problem as per his speech?
It had microbes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Moving on to the next question. What studies, also based on the second speaker, what studies have increased recently due to COVID-19? Studies of what? Which part of the body? Go.
Immune system.
Yes, sir. Is anybody else listening here? Come on, you guys. I'm sure we don't only have one effective listener. Okay, you're on a roll. Good job. Moving on. In order to strengthen our immune systems, what did our first speaker suggest we do?
Avoid alcohols.
I'm sorry, what?
Avoid alcohols and stuff like that.
Okay, kind of. Okay, well, basically what he said was we should become whole with the environment. We should become whole with the environment. All right, moving on. How did Abdurrahman is our second speaker. How did Abdurrahman start his speech? What did he do?
He asked question.
He coughed.
Yes.
Yes, he coughed.
Yes, thank you so much. More than one responder. Okay, moving on to the following question. What was, and I'm sorry for mispronouncing your name in advance, what was Munish's last wish? What's his last wish?
To be a president, prime minister.
Prime minister of the country.
Yes, excellent.
Be the prime minister of his country.
Exactly. Good for you. Okay. Okay. What did the general evaluator, how did he jumpstart his segment? What was the quote that he used? He said, feedback is the breakfast of
champions.
Great speaker.
Champions.
Champion.
That's right. Okay, only one more question because I'm already at a red card. Who was the only person in tonight's meeting who used rejoice, the word of the day?
Alia.
The general evaluator.
General evaluator.
Okay, thank you so much.
And grammarian, actually.
Besides the grammarian. Okay, thank you so much, you guys. I'm done with my segment. I really had a good time with you guys. Now I'm going to hand it over to our general evaluator. The mic is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dina, for that lovely burst of energy. The next indirect evaluator for this meeting is the R counter, and Toastmaster Shishil is going to now present his accounting report. Over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. I'm going to present my accounts report, starting with Presiding Officer, Toastmaster Dina. I only noticed one repetition. Other than that, she was flawless. Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Bismriti, 1 push, 4 repetitions, 6 crutch words. General Evaluator, Toastmaster Niladri, only 1 repetition. Evaluator Alia, 1 repetition, 1 crutch word. Speaker Silas, 2 pauses, 3 repetitions, and 4 crutch words. Similarly, Evaluator Toastmaster Reward, 2 pauses, 2 repetitions, and 9 crutch words. Speaker Abu Rahman Kajamal, 6 repetitions, 1 crutch word. Table Topic Master, Toastmaster Rania. Initially, I couldn't hear much of her conversation, but later on she was flawless. Table Topic Speaker, Toastmaster Munish, one repetition. Table topic speaker, Manashwi, one pause, one repetition, one crutch word. Table topic speaker, Mustafa Khalid, flawless. Similarly, table topic speaker, Toastmaster Priyanka, one pause, two repetitions, and 6 crutch words. And finally, the grammarian, Toastmaster Kriti, she had 3 crutch words. That's all from my side. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sushil, for the accounting report. Now, I have a small request for our Toastmaster Gada. I know she's expecting to deliver her timer's report, but if I could jump in and ask her to time myself first and then present a report, will that be okay with you, Toastmaster Gada? Are you here?
Yes. Okay, great, no problem.
Okay.
You want
Fabulous.
7 minutes?
Yeah, 7 to 10 minutes, I think. I will try to keep it as short as possible.
Okay, great.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Cairo and professionals, well done. What an amazing experience it was. It is an honor for me to be the general evaluator and to present my evaluation. And I would like to take you on a short flight with a little bit of happiness, with a little bit of feedback, and some peanuts, and hopefully not too many cold drinks on the way. Because I remember the gut thing now. Sergeant Adams, you opened the meeting very well. We were opened the meeting 3 minutes late, but that's okay. We were waiting for some people to join in, and we started off with about 48 participants. We were at a height of about 60 at a certain point of time in the meeting. You explained about the general meeting conventions. You also touched briefly upon the theme of the meeting, which was very, very well done. So kudos to you on that. Presiding officer, what can I say about you? I was there in the preparatory meeting yesterday. You have an infectious energy, and your voice and energy revs up anybody who will be sleeping out here in Nepal. It's a little bit late towards the evening out here, but your vivaciousness, your energy can rev up any room. So kudos to that. I really like the way you introduced the theme of the meeting. You talked about regular communication, positivity, and enthusiasm. And when you do something from the heart, it resonates in all of us. And that's what mattered to all of us. By the way, I will let you in on a small secret. You know why I was replying all correct answers to Toastmaster Dina? Because I've made notes all over in my notebook. So I was actively listening and writing things down so that I don't forget stuff. And that's the reason, that's the secret of my answers. But well done, presiding officer. Just a small bit of suggestion, if I may. I thought I saw few guests in the meeting. I don't know if there were Toastmasters because I could not see their naming conventions properly. And if you have guests in a meeting, it would always be very nice to talk a little bit about Toastmasters and what we do, what the club is all about, and a little bit of the history. That's what we're used to doing in Nepal. And maybe that's one thing that I would like to suggest over here. But overall, the opening was fabulous. It brought a lot of energy into the room. Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Bismriti. Where on earth did you get that cap? And how great you look in that uniform. You're so sweet, you're so approachable, you have a genuine smile on your face, and you speak from the heart. And that's a great, great gift for anybody to have. Well done on your roles. You spoke really well throughout the entire meeting. And where do we find our joy? You weaved in all of that into the spaces that could have been really, really well utilized, and you did it perfectly well. I just thought that you could be a little bit more cheerful. You were smiling there, you were there, but when you were speaking, I thought you were very serious today, and a little bit of smile could have brought in a lot of flavor to you. Also, one more suggestion: when you have guests in the meeting and you're describing what goes on in a Toastmasters meeting, if you could have coordinated with the Zoom master and displayed the agenda sheet, that would have been really nice. So people would have understood that particular structure. But overall, very well done. All the indirect role players, the grammarian, the heart master, the accounter, the timer, the Zoom master, very, very well done. Your competent work has brought quality to the meeting, and I cannot commend you more. All the role players did describe their meeting roles very well. I just had a very short suggestion for the grammarian who displayed and talked about the word of the day. When you were talking about the word of the day, if the word of the day could have been displayed on the screen, which Toastmaster Samir did later on, if that were done as you were speaking, it would have made very good sense, but you did remember to put it on the chat, so well done on that. Speaker one, Shailesh, I am a huge fan of you now. I did not realize about gut. I knew about gut bacteria, but the topic was intriguing. You took us on a ride and you talked about the technology that is determine the human microbiome, if I've got that correct. And I'm just left wondering, am I a sum total of my microbes? Hopefully not. Hopefully something more. The second speaker, Abdul Rahman, you took us on the journey of MTTR, main time to repair. And you talked about Cisco and a lot of other technical stuff that I found a little bit difficult to understand, but I loved your genuineness. I saw you from yesterday. You've got a wonderful smile. You've got a wonderful spirit, and that connects people to the audience. Keep it up. I really loved the way you concluded the speech, though. You brought the title right towards the end, how we can make sense out of the noise. So very well done. Toastmaster Raina, the table topics master, I did not expect you would come with that prop, although there was a little bit of muffled sound, which you got rid of, but I loved the energy. I loved the enthusiasm, and the prop added much needed energy. And all the four speakers, you spoke so well. Munish Gupta, your last wish of becoming a prime minister. I especially liked Toastmaster Mustafa speaking on the blood everywhere, how he completely changed the perspective and said it's just in the imagination. What can we talk about guest Manaswi? How sweetly she described the story, and I could see the chat box alive with how sweet she was. And then Toastmaster Priyanka, when I saw the poster from Scream, I thought you're going to say something scary, but you turned it into a love story and your first crush. So well done. That's how table topics are won. Evaluator one, Toastmaster Alia, you bring another. You're such a wonderful person with such an infectious smile that you can connect to anybody. And I'm sure there are thousands and thousands of fans of you if you go into the Toastmaster fraternity. Your infectious smile and energy could win hearts. But you are a very clever evaluator too. You started off with the positive and you focused on what Toastmaster Sailesh could have done better. You talked about how his movement was uncontrolled and how he could focus on the camera, on the eye contact. You demonstrated what a speaker could have done. You just did not say this could have been done, but you actually demonstrated, and that's what good evaluations are made of. You ended with a direct call of action. Evaluator two, Toastmaster Rewat, again, you tried to make positive and good sense of what Toastmaster Abdul Rahman had to say. You talked about how Toastmaster Abdul Rahman was very comfortable with the space. That's what I also noticed. He was very comfortable with the space. He used it to his effectiveness. And although he used technical jargons quite a lot, his genuineness and his sincerity, I thought, had a very, very direct connection with all of us. And thank you for such wonderful evaluations. Overall, a great meeting. It has been a privilege and an honor to be with Toastmaster clubs of Cairo and professionals. I'm from Bodhi Toastmasters Club in Kathmandu. And over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Bismriti.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator, for your detailed evaluation. Now, I would like to request the Zoom master to share the results of the different segments, best evaluation, best table topics, and best prepared speeches. I think we have the
Timer
results ready
support.
now.
I think timer support pending.
I'm
Oh,
really
my bad.
sorry.
Toastmaster
I would like
Gada.
to request.
My bad. Toastmaster Gada, could I kindly request you to present your report, please?
Thank you so much. Hello again. My report. Regarding the first segment, prepare the speech. The first speaker, Silish, 5 minutes and 40 seconds. The second speaker, Abdurrahman, 8 minutes and 5 seconds. In table topic part, the first speaker, Monish Jupta, 2 minutes. The second speaker, Manawi, 2 minutes and 27 seconds. The third speaker, Mustafa Khalid, 1 minute and 59 seconds. The fourth speaker, Priyanka, 1 minute and 40 seconds. Evaluators, Alia, 3 minutes and 34 seconds. The second evaluator, Raywood, 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Regarding auxiliary roles, Grammarian Kriti, 1 minute and 38 seconds. Hacker Master Dina, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Counter Social, 1 minute 52 seconds. And General Evaluator Millard D, 7 minutes and 50 seconds. Thank you so much. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you for your report. Now, I would like to request the Zoom master to share in the results of the 3 segments: better evaluation, better table topics, and better speeches. Fellow Toastmaster Ashraf, are we ready with the results?
Yes, already, Captain Bismiri. Yes, thank you. So, I hope that we haven't gone too long for you guys. I saw Mansawi had the pillow and the blanket all wrapped up. We will be done in 1 second. We'll be landing in 1 second. 1 second, we will be landing. So let's share our screen right now. All right. So for the best speaker award, it goes to Abdurrahman Kazmil. Congratulations, Abdurrahman. You did an excellent speech. Abdurrahman is new to the club, and he has been doing an awesome job taking roles, doing speeches, and he is very active, and I hope he does the best. He has gone through a lot, and I really happy for him for winning this award.
Toastmaster Abdul Rahman, would you like to give an acceptance speech?
Pardon me?
Would you like to give an acceptance speech?
Acceptance? Sorry, I didn't get what you mean. Would you rephrase it? Acceptance speech.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling? Just 1 minute. How are you feeling?
Actually, I don't believe I made it, and I got the support by Dina when I practice a lot, and I told them practice makes perfect. She told me, no, Abdurrahman, practice makes progress, and that's what I really see when I practice a lot and a lot. And yes, practice makes progress, and thank you all. And for also for people who would like to know more about app dynamics or this difficult technical, I did my best to make it more more easy for the audience, because you are not technical background. So if you do like to contact with me, I will share my contact. So if you have any more questions, I will be very rejoiced to hear them.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abdul Rahman. Now, could we have any guesses for the next segment of award, better featured, better table topic speaker? Do we have any guesses?
Yes, Manaswi.
Okay, we have one guess. It's yes, Manaswi.
Manaswi.
So may I ask the Zoom master to reveal the results?
Of course. So we had our first speaker. I believe it was Munsha, I believe. And the third speaker was Mustafa. And the fourth speaker was Priyakata.
Priyanka.
Yes, exactly that. So the best table topics award goes to Mustafa Khalid.
Congratulations, Toastmaster Mustafa. Please tell us how you
Congratulations.
feel.
Mustafa, are you here to give an acceptance speech?
Yeah, this I've really enjoyed talking. I've really enjoyed expressing myself, especially in the things that I enjoy the most. And yeah, it's great to be here. It's always great to express yourself. Maybe in my mind, I was like, no, I will not be the one. I will not be the winner. Someone deserved it more, and I think it did. But overall, thank you, everyone. It was awesome talking here. And back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you. Now, I would like to request the Zoom master to reveal the results of the winner of Better Evaluator.
All right. So, the best evaluator award. The best evaluator award goes to. Any guesses?
Drum roll, everybody.
Alia.
Alia? Who else? Alia? Anyone else want to guess?
No, Alia.
Okay. The best evaluator award goes to Ali Atiyah. Congratulations.
So great.
Alia, please give us a speech. Speech.
Thank you, guys. It has been a pleasure to be with you all today, regardless of who won or who not. It's not the point. The point is for us to have met such beautiful people like you, with guests from all over the world, and it's a great experience to share and to record in the history of Toastmasters. Back to you.
So it seems like Team Egypt is on a roll here with all the 3 awards to speakers and evaluations from Cairo Toastmasters and guests from Egypt. Thank you everyone for participating in our meeting. Now I would like to hand over the platform to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Nirajan Kadil, for his closing remarks. Over to you, Toastmaster Nirajan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bismiti, and what an amazing, smooth flight it was. Amazing experience, and thanks for putting up all the effort. I think this is going to be one of the memorable meetings that we have in Nepal. It's been more than 3 years I have been Toastmaster, and I have attended more than 50, 60 meetings until now, but I think this is going to be one of the memorable meetings, and we're going to cherish it and rejoice it lifetime. That's what I believe. Well, I want to thank a few people who are involved, and they're working very hard, relentlessly. Toastmaster Bismiti for sure, and thank you so much for giving us that experience. You don't even hesitate to put on that hat and all those things just to make us feel that we are on the flight. That was really great gesture. And Toastmaster Samir, you have always been amazing all the time. And obviously Toastmaster Alia and everybody from Cairo and professional Toastmaster. I think this has been one of the time. If your joy has been taken, I think Toastmaster is such platform. That's what I believe. And there's no better meditation in the world than attending Toastmaster meeting. That's what I feel. And a lot of smiles, a lot of laughs, nice, a lot of jokes. And we have a wonderful time. And in fact, I go to bed at 10, but I don't know it's already 10:20 over here. I'm completely awake and I'm enjoying a lot. So thank you so much. Hopefully we're going to have next meeting. So till we meet next time, adjourn the meeting and see you again. Thank you so much.
The houses, but we'll work on 40 minutes from this point, so we should be touching down somewhere between 6:30 and 7.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye-bye. Take care, everyone. Hey, hold on. I would like the Zoom master to take a group photo of all the participants present. Zoom master or anyone. So shall we all turn on our videos so that we can have a group photo taken? Toastmaster Samir, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, so Toastmaster Samir, I would like to request you to take a group photo, and I would like to request all the participants to turn on their videos.
Smile.
انت معلم واحنا منك نتعلم. انت معلم واحنا منك نتعلم. نسكت وانت موجود ما نرضى نتكلم. نسكت وانت موجود ما نرضى